7 seconds. 7 seconds, your mind has made 1,000 computations about me. Unconsciously and automatically, your mind has made 11 major decisions about me according to NYU's study. Am I a friend or a foe? Am I credible? Am I confident? Am I entertaining? Am I boring? Am I too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny? My audience and your audience in 7 seconds will make 11 major decisions about you. I don't know about you. I don't like those odds, because what if I do something they don't like? What if my hair is not the color they want it to be? What if I don't connect right away? That's the risk of being a speaker that is boring, confusing, and inconsistent. Now, I've been speaking for 25 years. I have bombed and I have done great. And I've done everything in between. I specialize in helping individuals to find their sweet spot. How do you articulate to your audience you are no ordinary speaker? There are a lot of reasons that people bomb when they're speaking. There are a lot of people that can be great speakers, but we've got to make sure that we are our best self on stage. How do we be our best self? How do we show up authentically if maybe we're nervous, we're thinking about, oh my God, I want to close this audience, I want so many sales, or I want them to do something. How do we show up our best self when maybe we've got a lot of stuff going on inside? So here's a few pointers that you want to look at when you are entering into the speaker arena. Number one, you have got to be you. How can I demonstrate this? Let me tell you. I started training with an individual that was very articulate, extremely spiritual, and used statements such as the green growing edges of your becoming, by you, with you, through you. If one advances confidently in the direction of their dreams, they will meet unexpected results in common hours. That's pretty good stuff, and I was sharing that, but it wasn't me. I hope you can tell by the video that I am not very, well, I'd say formal. I'm a little edgier, I'm a little direct, and I'm very much myself. But I was mimicking rather than modeling. Many times we're out there mimicking other individuals instead of authentically showing up as ourselves. So identify, who are you? Who do you want to be as a speaker? How do you show up in the world? And you've got to show up that way time and time again. It's more about consistency than being dazzling and being all that you think you should be. It's about being you. There are other mistakes that people make when they're out there hitting the big stage or even the little stage. Doesn't matter if you're in a conference room or you have an audience of 7,000 to 8,000, does not matter. Here's another important factor that you want to keep in mind when you're out there speaking. I call this individual the overloader. The overloader, you know who you are. If you're doing this, you are writing your talk, you're adding another 40 good points, 40 different things in there to overload your audience. You want to serve and overserve. You're giving them way too much information. It's a data dump. You're giving them everything in the kitchen sink so they respect you, they love you, they see that you're generous. But here's the risk. If you give too much information, two things can happen. One, they think they've got all the answers. They're going to go and do it themselves. They don't need what you have to offer. The second, which I feel is just as much a disservice to your audience as the first one, the second one is they get paralyzed. It is way overwhelming. They feel hopeless and there's no hope for them. They can't even do it themselves. They give up. People will not buy when they're afraid or too inspired. Inspiration only goes so far. They will not buy if they are too inspired or too in pain. Nobody buys when they're confused, bleeding, or think they can do it themselves. Here's what's really, really important. You'll hear me often say boring, confusing, and inconsistent. And here's the truth of the matter. There are plenty of speakers that don't realize they are boring, confusing, and inconsistent. I have been to 400 gazillion events, and I have seen speakers that are all of that, and they don't realize it, and what's happening is they're leaving money on the table. They are not selling through their talk. See, here's what's really important. You want to speak to profit. That's why we call it message to money, speak to profit. It's about taking your message and putting it out into the world in a way that people will buy. That takes calculation and intention, and you gotta have it in the right order. But you cannot, I'm gonna tell you, would it interest you to know that an audience will forgive you for just about anything except being boring and ordinary? They will allow you to trip, fall, say the wrong word, but to be boring or ordinary, they will never forgive you and they will never buy. When you articulate your message, it has got to capture the interest of your audience. It has got to move them to action, and it's got to close the deal for you. Here's a great invitation that I really want to help you speak to profit. Take your message and every single time turn it into money. Click below, get the information, the details to the event. And just for coming to the event, we've got a ton of gifts and prizes for you. But here's what the deal is. When you come, we're going to gift you our Speak to Profit tip sheet, which is going to help you hit any platform, audience of 1 or 1,000, for 7 seconds or 7 hours. We're going to help you turn your message to money time and time again. So click below, make sure you come to our event. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to help you get your work out there in the world.